are getting set for the opening tip here inside the Dollar Loan Center. Here's the starting lineups. Aaron Henry for Metropolitans 92. That name sounds familiar. He played for Michigan State as well as Tremont Waters. He played a few years in the NBA. He played at LSU in college.
Really is, and again, when you talk about a young man, he's played on the national stage.
Metro 92 wins the tip. Block already. C.D. Sissoko with the first block for G League Ignite coming out here in the home white. This is their new arena. They have moved here to Henderson, Nevada. They spent the first 2 years in Northern California. They are excited for this new home. Scoot Henderson, first jump shot, got it.
And that's where Scoot has put in the work over the summer. On that jump shot, you see he's excited about knocking down the first one. And I'm liking this matchup between he and Tremont Waters in this game because we know Waters can fill it up.
Wembanyama gives up. Henry inside all alone for the two-handed jam. That's Ibrahim Fall-Faye.
Now this is interesting. Tremont Waters talked to us yesterday about the fact that he's gotten his body into better shape, and he, along with Devontae Jones, his teammate, make it a game of picking up full court. We'll see how Scoot Henderson handles that pressure throughout this game.
How about Wembanyama being very unselfish, not even looking? He is the ultimate team player so far from what we've seen. Sissoko denied. Wembanyama on the block.
And that's where he really is a difference maker. We can talk about all the offensive skills necessary for Wembanyama, but when you look at his ability to defend the rim and coming from wherever on the court to deny opportunities, it makes him a possible generational talent.
Eric Mika, the product from BYU, is guarding Wembanyama here. Ball on the ground, Ignite, they're going to come away with it. Jenkins going to push the pace, looking up the floor. He's the sharpshooter, letting it fly. You ever seen a 7'4" guy bringing it up, starting things at the point?
Ralph Sampson. We did see it in the 80s. We didn't see it often, but we did see it. But I'm not sure Ralph was doing that. Yeah, I'm not sure Ralph was doing that at 18 years old.
Henderson using the screen, blocked by Wembanyama, his second block already. Henderson left alone for three. Miller, no good, staying with it, and off defensive goaltending. Now, that was one of the things we saw in shoot-around. Victor Wembanyama talked to an NBA official and asked a lot of questions about the differences in the rules, and that was one of the differences he asked about specifically.
But that's instinct. What you just saw right there was instinct. He's used to playing FIBA rules where once the basketball hits the rim, you can go clear it off. You can't do it, of course, in this game, but his instincts just kicked in on that possession.
Call for the travel. 4-4 early start here. I know you saw Wembanyama in practice yesterday. Early impression here in live action.
As good as advertised. I mean, you know, this is a young man who, against Chet Holmgren, you know, Kenny Lofton Jr., the USA team, put up 22 points, 15 rebounds, 8 block shots. That was 2 years ago for him. And again, playing against older guys. He's just 18 years old right now, and those guys are probably in their 20s. So when you think about it, he's as good as advertised just on the first couple possessions of this game with his 2 block shots.
Henderson going reverse. That's what he does. He has no fear. He's going to attack all night.
And speaking of impressive, Scoot Henderson is showing that he has improved as a basketball player already in the early minutes of this game.
Talking about doing what he does, Tremont Waters, he is a professional bucket getter.
Absolutely, and he is wired to score. He told us that he was going to try to make sure that he got Victor involved. This was about him, but Tremont Waters is wired to score. He's going to look for his opportunity.
Henderson with the blow by, pull a jumper a little short. Rebound goes to Konate. Wembanyama up top, throwing it down.
The ultimate lob threat. You just have to throw it somewhere in the area. He has the athleticism and, of course, the size to be able to gather even bad passes and finish them off.
Metro 92 with an early 8-6 lead here in this first quarter. Mika Minka gets back to Henderson, finishes over Wembanyama. Scoot Henderson has showed he has got some skills early on.
And that's one of the things that you're not going to, when Scoot has the opportunity to attack the basket, he's not going to shy away from it. He's going to attack anyone on the floor. Doesn't matter, 7'4", 6'4", whatever it may be.
Ball Faye gathers himself. Waters will reset. Shot clock's at 2. Gotta get it up. Ball Faye, no good off the glass. Batted. And a shot clock violation because that never hit the rim. Let's take a look at that last Scoot Henderson play.
Well, when you think about Scoot, he's not going to shy away from attacking the basket. Does a great job getting his body in front of Victor there. But then when you see the ability just to toss the ball anywhere around the rim, and Wembanyama will be able to go finish it off for a bucket.
Scoot Henderson right now leading all scorers with 6 points. I talked to him this week about what he wanted to do and take that leap from year 1 to year 2. He said, I've got to be a vocal leader. I've got to make my presence felt on the floor. And I said, how do you do that? He said, when I'm in the gym by myself, I actually make believe that there's players out there. And I yell things to imaginary people by myself. And he said, that actually helps me be more vocal, be more comfortable. As he dumps it inside to Minka, and he is fouled going up.
Well, it's helpful that Scoot's parents own the gym. Because if he was doing that at the local YMCA, a few people might think he's crazy, yelling at no one in the gym. But nice find from Scoot Henderson. And that's one of the areas also where he's looking to improve. Not just being a scorer, not just being an attacker for himself, but also distributing and helping his teammates be successful. That's one of the, Jason Hart, Pooh Jeter, each and every one of those guys are taking that personal responsibility to make him a better point guard.
How about Chris Paul in the house? The Phoenix Suns are in action here in Vegas tomorrow night against the Los Angeles Lakers. The Lakers will also play the Minnesota Timberwolves Thursday night on ESPN. I mean, right now, Vegas is the center of the basketball world.
It really is. And again, it has been really for the last couple of years. USA Basketball does a lot of their stuff here. Of course, the NBA Summer League, which you and I both get opportunity to work. And now with G League Ignite making Henderson/Las Vegas home.
Wembanyama for 3.
Come on,
wee.
Come on, man. 7-4 coming off a screen as the ball handler raising up. Defender not close enough. And again, when you're 7-4, there's really no such thing as close enough. He can't even see defenders when he raises up to shoot.
Corey, that's not fair.
It isn't.
That's not fair.
I like this matchup.
Scoot Henderson, one-on-one. Yeah! Right back at him. I love this matchup.
So does Scoot. Scoot Henderson has taken on the personal challenge, and everyone within the G League Ignite staff feels like he's the best player. He should be the #1 pick.
Wembanyama pump fake short on the 3, tipped around, net 92, stays with it. Henry, he'll launch it from 3, short. Henderson scanning the floor, dribbling up. Nobody stops the ball. No good. Miller gets the board. Driving a baseline. Lefty finish. Leonard Miller, the first-year pro out of Canada, said, I play with a chip on my shoulder. Coming out of Canada, we got something to prove. Waters, nice pass inside.
Championship aces.
Anjasi to the line, makes his first free throw for Metropolitans 92. Marcus Graves coming into the game for the first time for G League Ignite, as well as Cameron Young. So Scoot Henderson gets his first breather. Aubrey Dawkins also into the game for the first team for Ignite. Graves is a 3-year pro. Last year played in the G League. He's running the point now with Scoot Henderson on the bench. Tremont Waters with a steal out ahead of the pack and will lay it in. And this great discussion with Tremont Waters in practice yesterday about being real with himself. He played 2 years with the Celtics, also played with the Raptors and the Wizards. He said, when I was with the Celtics, I was out of shape. I have to be real about that. Now I've got to be my own person, hold myself accountable as Jenkins goes for 3 off the mark. And he said, coming to Paris is a way that I can do that for myself.
Well, and not just that, you see his ability to defend. That helps when you're in better shape. You can get the job done on both ends of the floor. Not always rely on his offense to be successful, And that's what he's done the majority of his career. But I love the self-reflection to be able to take that responsibility on yourself and hold yourself accountable.
Jenkins for three, knocks it down with a sharpshooter. John Jenkins out of Vanderbilt, first-round pick in 2012. He's played all over the world, Spain, Israel, and France, and now he's one of the veterans on this team to guide the youngsters as they come up.
But that's one of the things that Ignite has really changed with this year's team. They have more veterans who are capable of getting the job done in the G League, younger veterans, you know, who are capable of going out and giving them significant minutes, but still playing that leadership role and helping along the younger players, as we see Victor getting on the floor.
So a problem with the shot clock. They're saying there should be more time added to the shot clock. So we're not going to allow subs to come in. As we take a look at Jason Hart, head coach for this team. He does such a great job balancing, and because everybody on this team knows what their role is. There really aren't any egos so far what we've seen in practice. It's been impressive.
Well, the benefit is, of course, Jason Hart has NBA experience as a player. And then, of course, he actually played in the D League back in the day, but coached college basketball. And so he has the best combination of being able to recruit, which you have to do for G League Ignite, but also understanding the NBA, the professional game. So he's the great combination for a coach to be able to coach this team and also to be able to relate to players.
Jenkins looking for his second three, knocks it down. That is a smooth looking stroke.
Well, you mentioned earlier, this young man was a first-round pick out of Vanderbilt. This is what he does. He can shoot the three ball, and he's a great addition to this Ignite team. One of the things that they talked about is surrounding Scoot with shooting, allowing him to be his best self as a playmaker and a scorer.
Tom Waters trying to go to work. 6 on the shot clock. Hugo Besson will just throw it up at the rim. Gets it to go, and the foul. Hugo Besson, we saw him in the NBA draft combine. He's got a little edge to him.
He really does, and he's aggressive. Besson comes off the bench, and he is ready to go as soon as he gets the basketball in his hands, looking and wired to score, taking his opportunities, trying to get to the basket, and not shying away from contact, being able to finish an opportunity for the N1.
I mean, let's just talk about this game, even how it even came about. Metropolitans 92, they've already started their season. They played a few games already in Europe. They decided to stop their season, come to America, and showcase their big player, Victor Wembanyama. Now, for G League Ignite, this is their first game playing together with this group of guys. It's a preseason game they want to win, but they also want to see who they have and how they gel together.
And many of the NBA executives I talked to yesterday were very surprised by the fact that Metropolitans 92 did make this move to come play. Oftentimes, you will find teams, countries, wanting to hide their prospect. You have someone like Victor Wembanyama, and you don't want to put him out on display and give him an opportunity to be exposed negatively. But Met 92 didn't have any problem with bringing him over and allowing him to see a little bit of this. And I think it's been great, not only for, you know, Metropolitans 92, but also for G League Ignite to be able to have this here in Vegas.
And the fans. I mean, we love this.
And the fans.
Let's go. Inside out of Boogity. Now, he came from Washington State. We thought it was Efe Abogidi, but no. He said it's Efe Abogidi. He wants to make sure everyone corrects his name and says it correctly, so we will say it that way the rest of the season going forward.
I like Abogidi much better.
Yeah, Boogity like flows off the tongue.
It really does.
G League Ignite with a 6-point lead here in this first quarter. 3:20 to play. Mojave King going strong to the rack. And he is fouled and will go to the free throw line. King is a 6'5" prospect out of Australia. He's just 20 years old. He's another one of these imports who has the potential to be a first-round draft pick. It's been 2 years in the NBL, which is the professional league in Australia. Last year, he went to New Zealand, and he's kind of following the Dyson Daniels model. Dyson Daniels played with G League Ignite last year. People didn't really know about him at the beginning of the year, and then he becomes a top 10 pick when it was all said and done. Mojave King is trying to do that again here.
And one of the 6 draft-eligible players for G League Ignite, and when you consider what they do, and Jason Hart's role is trying to develop these young players, in getting them drafted, making them NBA prospects, but also trying to win. He talks about how their development, they want to develop while winning, and this is the first year the G League Ignite will play a full 50-game schedule. So a difference in approach this year as to the way they have to go about business.
Jones takes the contact, finishes, no call. Devontae Jones, the 6-foot guard from Michigan. One of 3 American players playing for Metropolitans 92.
How about that matchup in practice when you got Jones and Aaron Henry, Michigan and Michigan State? I'm sure there's a lot of talking going back and forth between those 2 guys.
Curling off the screen, Dawkins, nothing but net for 3. G League Ignite come out shooting hot from downtown. The other end, right back at him.
The mix-up defensively, getting back. One guy you can't leave open is Hugo Bassan. Knocks down to 3, and we see how aggressive he's going to be early in this game.
Look at he's going for it. He's got the ISO. King will let it go. How about this opportunity for the other guys on the court to play in front of so many NBA execs and scouts? They want to get to the NBA too.
Yeah, and that's one of the things when you sign up to play for G League Ignite. Of course, you know, Mets 92, when you're playing with a guy like Victor Wembanyama, you're going to have a lot of eyes, a lot of attention on you. And a guy like Aubrey Dawkins is showing off that shooting touch in front of many of the NBA scouts who are going to be available all season long to watch Scoot Henderson. But you see a guy that can shoot the basketball like this, he's someone that you now start to think about giving an opportunity.
G League Ignite coming the other way. Dawkins running the break, couldn't find him in transition. Marcus Graves will slow things down for Ignite as we approach 1 minute to play here in this first quarter. Stepping into one is Cameron Young, short. Welcome back to Henderson, Nevada, just minutes from the Las Vegas Strip. John Trippin alongside Corey Alexander. Final minute to play here in this first quarter between Met 92 and G League Ignite.
Team, and we're playing against an NBA team with NBA rules, NBA court. So this is really going to be a first time for me. And yeah, I'm curious to know how it's going to go. I know it's going to go well, but I'm still curious, you know.
He said, I know it's going to go well. He is a very confident young man.
He is that, and I love that about him, especially someone, you know, in his shoes with all the eyes on him and the expectations that will follow him for the remainder of his career. To have that confidence, it will only help him moving forward.
14 seconds on the shot clock. Paul Faye will take a deep 2 and nail it. So Ignite, the lead is cut to 6. Now, this is an exhibition game, but don't kid yourself. Both teams want to come away with the win tonight.
Yeah, and both teams have started out competing very well. You can tell that it means something to each team. Fortunately, they'll play each other twice, so there'll be another game on Thursday at noon Pacific time.
Graves with the fall away, no good. Shot clock violation. So 2 seconds on the game clock remaining here in this first quarter. Met 92, have a chance for the final shot. Paul Faye takes a peek, let it fly. That's how the first quarter will end. We're just joining, we're here with Sharif Abdurrahim, president of the G League, talking to us about how this game came about.
So Sharif, the G League is coming off of its greatest year last season. The G League helped the NBA.
And the opportunity that our players had to go up and play in the NBA during a really critical time. Yep. 117 different players, no doubt.
And the G League saved the NBA last year at times where, you know, of course, we're still getting through the COVID pandemic as we get a look at Scoot Henderson attacking the basket. We talked about he would not be afraid to attack the rim. Getting opportunity at the free throw line. But as we go back to that, to go from the biggest year in G League history to come to tonight, which it probably is the biggest game in G League history when you consider the moment, everything that's going about, as you mentioned, 200 credentialed NBA executives in the building. You've got to be happy with the direction that this league is going.
Yeah, we continue to grow with the support of the NBA and NBA teams, our G League teams. The opportunity we have for our G League players to have a platform to grow and develop. We want to be a place where the best young players in the world come and play. So whether that's them being in a G League uniform or being able to expand and play teams like the Metropolitans, talent like Victor, talents like Scoot, some of our other players, Leonard Miller, City Sissoko that's from France, Mojave King that came from our NBA academies. We want to continue to expand what we have as a platform with the G League.
You know, what's so impressive is that as the president of the G League, you haven't been afraid to take chances and try new things and experiment with the G League. What are some future experiments you have in store coming up?
We have to
experiment with the G League. What are some future experiments you have in store coming up?
We have to.
CD Sissoko.
There you go. Against one of his home teams from France, so that's exciting for City. We want to continue to push the envelope. You know, that's part of our DNA as a league, to be creative, to be innovative. You know, you saw our in-season tournament that we started a couple years ago. We have some exciting things we want to do this year. Okay, here we go.
Here we go. It's showtime! Scoot Henderson. Learn the name.
There you go.
And Sharif doing both interview and play-by-play. Love it.
Yeah, we announced that we're going to experiment with a target score this year. So, you know, something similar to, you know, what you saw in the NBA All-Star game a couple years ago. So we want to just keep trying things, keep being creative, yeah, here we go again.
Okay, break this play down.
Let's just be active, get out in the open court, and show what you got with a little emotion.
And when you and many people won't understand the G League's role with G League Ignite, but the Ignite is actually a team franchise owned and operated by the actual G League in comparison to the other G League teams which have individual owners.
Yeah, so this is our first year. We'll be 30 teams, 28 owned and operated by NBA teams, and then we have G League Ignite that the league oversees, and then our Mexico City team, Capitanes, that joined us this year, they are an independent team as well. But our whole purpose with Ignite is to give young prospects an opportunity to continue to grow and live out their dreams, and it's continued to evolve. So again, Scoot Henderson, but Leonard Miller, City Sissoko from France, you know, just continue to grow what we're doing with the program.
It is amazing how international the game has become, how there's so many good players from all around the world. You talked about that new team in Mexico City. What's been the response from that team getting started this year?
So this will be their last season. They joined us, the Capitanes, and for part of the season. So due to COVID, we couldn't be in Mexico City, but they came and they played in our early season tournament. And if you saw the crowds that they draw just being, you know, out of market, we're really excited to be in Mexico City, and the energy that the Capitanes are going to bring and the opportunity we have to continue to expand and have a footprint not only in Mexico City but Latin America.
Alley-oop, no good, off the mark for Metro 92.
Jason Hart talked earlier in his press conference about, you know, really G League Ignite being the brainchild of yourself and, of course, Rod Strickland, who has now moved on, the head coach of, you know, LIU Brooklyn. But he wanted to be a member in continuing the growth of this G League Ignite franchise, this program. And you and Jay Hart spent a lot of time this summer at AAU tournaments all over the place. I saw you guys everywhere with the recruiting process. What goes into determining who are the right fits to fit into this program?
I don't think about it so much as recruiting as it is education. Kind of the impetus of the program is to be an option for young men, and we go out as you know, at the EYBL or some of the other tournaments, and again, just watch and, you know, kind of get to understand the grassroots platform. And you see a lot of our, you know, NBA scouts there now, a lot of our NBA players. Chris Paul is here tonight. He has a big presence, as do you, Corey, on that platform. And we, again, just from a G League standpoint, a lot of these guys, whether it's Ignite or later on in their career, they're going to spend time in the G League. So, you know, we think it makes sense to get ahead of it and start educating them and talking to them about the process.
Now, I asked you this last year, and I'm going to repeat the question. This is a younger team. Do they know who you are?
Well,
Do they know they will take off the suit, put on the Vancouver Grizzlies uniform, the Sacramento Kings uniform, that Sharif Abdur-Rahim, do they know him?
Okay, City.
Sissoko.
They have no idea, and that's okay.
You're okay with
a lot of times when I talk to the parents, I'm at that point now where the parents know me.
Okay, I got you. Yeah.
But it's fun. I'm excited for all of them. As you see Leonard Miller here, all of the young guys, and even our veteran players, John Jenkins, former first-round pick, that just able to play and live out their dreams through the G League.
You've been around this team so much. Has there been one or two guys who really impressed you the most and have really grown so much? I mean, just from being with the team a short time?
Well, I mean, obviously having Scoot last year, I thought last year was just a great opportunity for him to grow up, and he's kind of the
player since 2010. Killian Haynes, Frank Ntilikina, Victor Wembanyama projected to blow them all away.
Yeah, absolutely. Projected to be higher than everyone. Speaking of getting higher, you're talking about 7'4", going well above the rim, and I like him attacking the basket, not just settling for jump shots, but showing the ability to put the basketball on the floor. And again, it's much more difficult at 7'4" to be able to handle the basketball because you have to get so much lower as a player to keep the ball away from much smaller defenders.
I saw both of his parents coming into the arena before the game, and I spoke to them. They're both very tall. His mother is about 6'3". She's a former basketball player. Father is about 6'5", 6'6". He's a former track star. I asked his mom, I said, how did you do it? Because you have this young man who is 7 foot tall. He is so graceful, so skilled. Usually when you see guys at this age, they're still kind of figuring out their body. She told me he's always been like this, just athletic. He did judo growing up. He was a goalie in soccer. But she said the key to his growth, she cooked all of his food. Natural home cooking got him to grow to 7'4".
Well, it was interesting. We talked with Sidi Sissoko yesterday, and he told us, of course, he's from France. He's known Victor for a very long time. And he talked about, over the last 3 years, seeing the progression in his skill. He just started looking like, man, the stuff that he's doing now is crazy. I don't remember him doing that. He was always tall, but I don't remember him doing that, back in the day. And now watching him, he's kind of amazed of his own friend and seeing what he's able to do on the court.
Gasol rips down the net for 3. Gets the lead back to single digits. G League Ignite up by 8 with under 8 to play here in this first half. Scoot Henderson leading all scorers with 16 points already. Miller setting up from beyond the arc, letting it fly too strong. Wembanyama bringing it down. Sissoko rips it away. Miller, high arcing shot, gets it to go.
And that's where you see, we've talked about all the strengths of Wembanyama, but you look at one of the weaknesses. He has to get stronger. I mean, going up over the rim and getting that rebound, but bringing it down to where everyone can get involved and taking it away from him. He brings it down to the level of Sidi Sissoko. And Sissoko just snatches the basketball away as Leonard Miller is able to go over the top of the outstretched arm for the bucket.
You talked to a lot of scouts this week who have been in attendance watching Wembanyama. What's been the response from NBA scouts and executives?
It's been all positive, and a lot of it has more to do with his attitude, his willingness to listen and learn, the fact that he is being coached, very well and hard. They're not treating him as a diva. They are coaching him up and trying to get him better, get him stronger throughout this process, knowing that this will be his last year playing, as a first professional. He will be in the NBA next year. But it seems as though everyone involved is on board and trying to make that the best transition.
Aubrey Dawkins, that's his third three-pointer of the game, making his dad, Johnny Dawkins, head coach at UCF, proud.
One thing we know, Aubrey Dawkins can shoot the basketball. Had a spectacular performance against Duke in the Sweet 16 a few years back. Almost knocked off Zion and R.J. Barrett and that bunch. It was a one-point game.
Henderson showing off the handles. Reverse. Finishes over Wembanyama. Scoot Henderson. He's been the star tonight so far, leading everybody with 18.
And I'm not sure Victor Wembanyama's ever played against a guard that's finished over and around him the way that Scoot Henderson has done in this game. It's something new for him.
Wembanyama In the paint. No call. Looking for it. No whistle. Henderson pushing. Jenkins. Sissoko has been battling on that offensive glass.
And that's his game. He's a guy that's not necessarily looking out to put out the numbers. Oh,
fire!
And the nice English off the glass, showing off why everyone in the G League program is comparing him to Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose.
Derrick Rose. That's a big comparison.
Yeah, the Derrick Rose. And Derrick Rose celebrating his 34th birthday today. I actually reached out to two separate people who are close with Derrick Rose, one of them being his high school coach, my guy Robert Smith, head coach at Simeon High School, who's been texting me throughout the game, telling me he sees it and he likes Scoot. He sees the comparison. And also, of course, Rod Strickland, who was the guy who really recruited Scoot to join the Ignite program, who coached Derrick Rose at Memphis back in 2007, 2008. And Rod Strickland also saying he likes the comparison. He thinks they have a very similar temperament, but Scoot's super explosive. But to me, Derrick Rose is the most explosive athlete to ever play the point guard position. And Scoot can be explosive, but I don't think anybody gets to Derrick Rose level.
That's a big comparison.
That is a huge comparison. But and Jason Hart told us pregame, it's big shoes to fill, but they think Scoot is that level of player. And again, from everything we've seen here in the first quarter and a half of this game, they may be right.
I mean, we've seen it from the tip. He has had that swagger. He's had that confidence, no fear every time as he goes to the rim. Steal by Ignite. Dawkins running the break. In transition, underneath. A boogity cleaning things up for Ignite.
If you're Jason Hart, you have to be happy with the way that your team has approached this game. And also the way that they've been able to share the basketball. It hasn't been just about Scoot getting looks. It's been everyone getting involved in the game and playing off of Scoot Henderson when he's in. But Graves has done a great job coming in, running the show when Scoot's gone to the bench. Jenkins has made shots. Dawkins has made shots. They've got contributions from
Eric Mika, who's one of the new players, one of the veterans, the center for this team. He said that's what stood out to him immediately from joining this team. There's so many shooters, so many guys willing to share the ball, deliver inside to the big man. He goes, I've never really played on a team where the guards were in tune with the big man immediately from the jump. This team has seemed to click right away.
And I think a lot of that was by design when you consider, of course, as we get to see, we've got a Boogie out here now. We got Boogie. Boogie Cousins checking out the game. But when you consider what Jason Hart, Sharif Abdur-Rahim, Rod Baker, the whole staff, when putting this team together, this staff has put this team together to be able to compete in 50 games. Not in what they've done in showcases in the past, but to be able to compete within the G League, try to make it to a G League, final, championship, whatever it may be. And I believe that they've done that. They've got a very cohesive unit who's willing to share the basketball and shooting all around.
Shot clock down to 6 for Ignite. King got to go to work, down to 2, throwing it away. And they're going to say he got bumped on the pass off, so bailed out with 0.6 on the shot clock. So in the bonus, Mojave King will go to the line.
Wembanyama picking up the foul, I believe, and getting the two hands low in comparison to basically challenging that shot at the rim. King saw that Wembanyama was trailing him and was passing the basketball, didn't want to challenge.
I'm not sure who that is. Any guess?
I'm going to go with the no.
There are a lot of people in the house, especially some NBA players. I spoke to Mojave King before the game, and you know how guys like to down game. I said, Mojave, Chris Paul is going to be here. LeBron James might be here. He said, LeBron? Chris Paul? Really? His eyes got so big.
And again, to try to say that it is, we wouldn't believe any of the players anyway. You see the way Scoot Henderson came out to start this game. You know that it was not just any other game.
Boogity, he'll be fouled going up and go to the free throw line to shoot 2. Scoot Henderson, hard to believe, he is just 18 years old. He is so mature for his age, so poised, his body is developed. I mean, he looks like he could play in the NBA right now.
He can. And part of it has to do with the fact that this is the second year now that he will play against grown men on a daily basis. And that's one of the benefits of this Ignite program is when you're here, you're playing against guys who have professional experience on a daily basis in practice, etc. So he's getting something that the normal, I mean, there are high school guys right now older than Scoot Henderson. And so he's getting an experience that very few are able to get. But more importantly, it's his second year of doing so. And again, we have, London Johnson, who was just signed recently with the Ignite program, who will be 2 years with Ignite as well. And that's kind of a new style that they've adapted, trying to keep players in the program longer.
Nice finish by Aaron Henry in the lane, plus the foul, so he'll go to the free throw line. Aaron Henry, one of the international players on the squad for Metropolitans, 92. He played at Michigan State. Last year, he played with the Delaware Bluecoats in the G League. And I said, what's it been like going over your first time playing overseas in Paris? He said, I love it. Getting overseas, the food is different. He said in 2 months, he's already lost 10 pounds just eating cleaner food. He said even the Gatorade, there's not as much sugar in Paris. Many different routes to get to the NBA. Boogity, foul, going up strong for that offensive rebound. I mean, we saw flashes from him in his first year at Washington State. And you can see why a lot of scouts wanted to see a Boogity out here today on the floor.
And that also goes back to relationships. Jason Hart, of course, recruited a Boogity when he was an assistant at USC. So when a Boogity decided he was going to leave Washington State, Jason Hart got involved in the recruiting process as the head coach of G League Ignite, as well as with other college coaches, and ends up winning the battle to get a Boogity to be a part of this program. And again, you see that, he's got everything necessary to be a big in the NBA, the athleticism, the size, and now gaining the experience playing against professionals here.
And when you talk to personnel with G League Ignite, they tell me NIL actually helps this team because guys who want to take the money will just go play in college, going up strong, finishing with the right hand is Cameron Young. But guys who come here to G League Ignite, they have a purpose. They want to become professionals, and they want to do it on a daily basis. So they get guys who want to be here because of NIL.
Absolutely. And again, this prepares you to be an NBA player. Again, taking money in college from NIL, and I'm all for that. I think guys should be able to get their money. But that doesn't prepare you to be an NBA player. That prepares you to be a good college player.
Gasol with a sweet-looking shot knocks down another three. Gasol, that is his fourth three of the ball game. He's got 15 points to lead the way for Metro 92. Henry getting in the lane off the mark. Yeah, raked across the arm is Banjasi. Isn't that amazing? Henry lost 10 pounds already moving to France in just 2 months. He said he's just quicker, more agile on the court right now.
My 1 year playing overseas, when I went to Italy, my first month or so, I lost about 10 pounds early.
With all that pasta, too?
It's not American Italian food. It's Italian food, and there is a difference. I understand exactly what, Aaron Henry's saying because, again, we here to think of French food as the way it's prepared here in America. But that's not it. It's different when you get to France, and the same thing when you go to Italy. So, I mean, it is an adjustment, but I can appreciate the fact that Aaron Henry and Tremont Waters, both these guys, their first experience in Europe as professionals, and seem to both be relishing that opportunity right now.
Devontae Jones as well out of Michigan, the third American on the team for Metro 92. So timeout, G League.
I do think there is a chance, and a lot of that depends upon who gets the pick. But I honestly believe that, Victor Wembanyama would be that pick for pretty much 99% of the league. And when you say that, it's because it's so difficult to pass on a guy who could be a generational talent.
Mika, man, flexing on him.
Now, when you look at today, probably next year, in the next couple of years, as we see the nice find over the top to Mika, who seals, does a great job using his body and finishing for the opportunity on the and-1. Scoot Henderson will be a more productive player than Victor Wembanyama. simply because the game caters to what Scoot does well. He's a guard that has the ball in his hands, attacks the rim, is developing a much better jump shot. You know, the NBA game is designed for guys like that to be successful. But when you think about Victor Wembanyama and you say, okay, this guy defends the rim, right? Like none other. Okay, he can shoot the 3-ball. He can put it on the floor. He can pass it. He can do everything. It's going to take him time to adjust to the game, the NBA style of play. This is the first time he's ever played these rules today. And so it's going to take him some time to adjust to that. But his ceiling is so high that it would be difficult for any NBA team to say we're not going to take him with the #1 pick and take someone else.
A lot of people are watching this broadcast probably hearing Victor Wembanyama's name for the first time, not knowing who he is, what he's about. They see a guy who is 7'4", who can do things basically the size of a point guard.
Yeah.
We've never really seen that before. He can play all 5 positions on the floor. In practice yesterday, we saw him bringing the ball up and running the point for their team.
Yeah, and I think the closest comparison right now will probably be Chet Holmgren. And, of course, we won't get an opportunity to see Chet play this year with the list right fracture in his foot. Nice finish.
Bobby King showing his athleticism rising up.
You know, but Chet Holmgren is probably the closest comparison to Victor.
Oh, Besson. My, oh, my.
I like the attack by Besson. Now, I don't know if he could have made that dunk because at no point was the ball or his hand above the rim, but the fact that he attempted it got him to the free throw line. So my man at home right now, Rasheed Wallace, would say, ball don't lie. He wasn't going to make that dunk, and the reason why he didn't make that first free throw.
Besson's been a sharpshooter and attacked the rim there. 1 of 2 from the line, cuts the lead down to 17 as we approach 1 minute to play here in this first half. A little miscommunication as Graves throws that one away. Turnover.
Cardinal rule. Never fake backdoor. That's not on. That is on Mika. You don't fake backdoor. If you make that action as you're going backdoor, you go. You never fake it.
King, good defense. Active hands, gets the turnover, trying to push the pace for Ignite. Young, elbow jumper, showing the touch.
Nice patience by Young there, recognizing what the defense was giving him. Pulling up and shooting the mid-range jumper. Easy bucket.
Deflected. No, they're going to say that was out of bounds. It looked like it went off Ignite. And the officials are going to talk and change that call. Our officiating crew, Catherine Chang, Julian McFadden, Agon Abazi. And so the ball is going to stay here with Metro 92.
Yeah, the officials got that right. You see the hand right there from Graves knocking it out of bounds.
Besson downhill, protecting the ball, and he will get fouled again and go back to the line.
A strong take by Besson, and you see whenever you go to the rim and 2 guys go up and the guy that's defending starts falling backwards, that's some strength attacking the basket right there. You and I were both excited when we saw Hugo Besson on this team because we both saw him at the NBA Combine and liked him there, his aggressiveness and the way that he attacked in the scrimmages at the Combine. So a familiar name for us to be able to see. The first time many people are getting to see him in a professional space, but he's been effective here tonight.
So far, Besson, he's got 18 points. That ties Scoot Henderson with Ignite for the lead so far in this first half. Shot clock turned off. Game clock's at 5. Graves splits defenders, throwing it up. Oh!
Yeah, I'm ready to play Thursday. You know, I'm excited to play. We've got a young team. We're doing good. I'm glad to see Yeah, I'm ready to play Thursday. You know, I'm excited to play. We've got a young team. We're doing good. I'm glad to see Scoot going at it tonight. That's what I like to see.
Okay, break it down, because you got the best seat on the bench.
Yeah.
How is Scoot doing his thing right now?
Scoot, he's been locked in his whole week. I know this game means a lot to him, and he came out the gate jumping. So, you know, that's my #1 pick right there. For sure. I've seen him for a few months. That's my #1 pick.
That's been the sentiment around, you know, G League Ignite. Most of the people feel like he is the best player available in the draft coming forward. But you talking about young guys, of course, I go back to about 2015, 2016 with you. You as a veteran, now, what's your role on this team? Because, again, you're still a young guy, but yet you have to have a leadership voice in the locker room.
Yes, I am a rookie, but, you know, I already went through the draft process, so I'm on the veteran side. But, you know, it's also my first year. I'm with the young guys, too. Oh, come on, City. So, you know, I have to be a leader, but I'm also learning from the vets who've been playing in this league for a long time. So, you know, I'm in the middle, and, you know, I'm learning, but I'm also teaching the young guys. You know, I just talked to Lennon. I was like, yo, look at the rim. Every time you touch the ball, you're going through the plays, yes, but, you know, you got to look at the rim first, because I think Leonard's going lottery, so I need him to get to the rim a little bit.
All right, so you got the inside scoop because you play against these guys in practice all the time. What is it about Scoot Henderson that you think he should be the #1 pick?
You know, he's more mature than your average teenager basketball-wise, you know, and this is his second year doing Ignite. You know, his body frame, he's real strong. His athleticism is one of the craziest I've ever seen. And, you know, I think he's going to jump over somebody this year the way he jumped. And, you know, Scoot is just ahead of most people his age. And, you know, I really think he's the #1 pick because he's a good point guard. He takes his time. He plays at his own pace. And, you know, he's a really smart kid.
And speaking of jumping, I saw you flying around in warm-ups earlier today. Tell people a little bit about your story, going from heart surgery, you know, at UCLA, transferring to LSU, and now with the G League Ignite. Tell people that don't know your story just a little bit about your story and how you got to this point.
Yeah, you know, I came out of high school, you know, Coach Thomas, who's actually on the staff of Ignite, he was one of my high school coaches. You know, I came out of high school, #1 player in California in my class of 2018, and I had to get a heart surgery at UCLA before the season started that had me out for about a year and a half. And, you know, my biggest thing after that was just returning to the game. And I went to LSU for 2 years, and, you know, now here with G League Ignite, you know, I'm just blessed to be able to play basketball, especially at this level. And, you know, I check on my heart every 6 months, and it's still fine, still good. So, you know, I'm going to keep working, man. You know, it sucks I had to go through that, but I think it matured me as a person. You know, I think it made me want basketball even more. So, you know, I'm glad to be here with G League Ignite, and, you know, it's a blessing to be here, and I'm glad that they let me join the team.
I mean, I picked up on your maturity as soon as I got to meet you the other day. You're also an inspiration. You know, the fact that you're so willing and open to talk about your heart surgery, and I know you want to give back and keep it going, and especially to young kids in school, to make sure that people don't go through what you went through.
Yes, the reason I'm like that, you know, I got my surgery done in the Children's Hospital, and, you know, I was the oldest one there at 18 years old. There was kids who were not even double digits in ages, and they were on their 4th, 5th heart surgery. You know, they were looking at me like it's going to be okay, and I was terrified. And those are the happiest kids in the world. So, you know, I want to get back to the kids. You know, because those little kids in the hospital with me showed me not to be scared and, you know, keep going for what I love. And, you know, I'm glad I'm an inspiration. You know, I want to help everybody who needs help.
Sharif, if anyone could be a spoiled brat, it could be you.
What a statement.
No, really. I mean, if you think about it, you grew up in the NBA. Of course, your father's super famous. You could be a spoiled brat, but you're not that person. You are a you know, very humble person. Again, I know your experiences, but even before you went through that, you were always a very humble person, very giving person. When do you become selfish and say, okay, now it's time for me to shine, and I'm going to be the guy that goes and become that basketball player that you are capable of being?
Yeah, this year has to be the year. You know, I am a nice kid off the court, but, you know, on the court, I gotta flip the switch now. You know, these past few years, this past summer league, you know, I was a little jittery, but, you know, I got that out now. I gotta go get it. And the people who know me off the court, they know me as this nice kid, but on the court, I'm going to have to be a a-hole. Sorry for my language.
you didn't say anything bad.
I'm going to have to be that. So, yeah, this year is the year it has to happen, starting on Thursday.
Well, your famous father wasn't in support of you. Well, I shouldn't say in support. He wasn't a fan of you actually turning pro. But that was your decision. As a man, you said, I'm going to make that decision. That's what I'm going to do. As we watch Victor knock down the back-to-back threes, he's starting to get going a little bit. Tell me a little bit about that making the decision, even though Shaq was saying, hey, I don't think that's the right move for you right now.
You know, I did make that decision, and at first me and him kind of bumped heads on it a little bit. And, you know, he actually had a big part of me playing with Ignite. Now, you know, me and him, we had our conversation. He ended up being on my side. He's like, you're my son, I'm going to support you no matter what. You know, he helped me get on this team, and you know I thank him for everything. You know he's taught me a lot, and he was like, I'm gonna be with you going pro, but you got to make sure you're ready. You got to make sure you show out. And we have a little bet. You know, every time I get double digits, you know, he has to give me something. If I don't get double digits, I have to give him something. So we're like. It's a little competition between us, but, you know, I love my dad. He's done a great job of supporting me. He's been helping me. He always takes me to the gym when he's out here. So, you know, I love my dad. We just had that little altercation. We're good.
I tell you this, back in 2013, 2014, I did an LSU game. And, of course, your dad was in the building, so he came over and joined us. And he went through his phone. He was showing me videos of you. From you weren't even in ninth grade yet. And he was so proud of just showing me videos of you, this, that, and other. I can tell you that I know he was proud of you as a basketball player, but I'm 100% certain he's more proud of the young man you've become. I believe he's raised you, as well as your mom, Shawnee, have raised you to be a great young person, and you have turned out exactly to be that. So glad to see you being successful, man, and have an opportunity to be here.
You're also giving him a run for his money as a broadcaster, man. You got a future in this thing. I want you to play for as many years as you can. But you got a spot here in this booth.
I know. Maybe I got to take over TNT in a couple decades, you know, where he get a little older.
You might know somebody.
I might make that call.
You'll be the next generation at TNT.
For sure.
Okay, you got to break down Victor Wembanyama for us. You had a courtside seat. What do you think of his game?
You know, I play with pretty tall players. The tallest player I ever played with was Bol. He's pretty tall, you know. When we came out before, you know, I shook his hand. And, you know, me looking straight, in my point of view, I couldn't even see half of his body. I've never seen a kid that tall. And, you know, he's real good, real skilled. And he's 18, right?
Yeah,
he's only 18. Jeez, yeah, he's going to be real good. I can tell he's pretty smart. I don't know how basketball is over there in the French league, but I know he's over there dominating. And, you know, he's real long. Time shots really over there in the French league, but I know he's over there dominating. And, you know, he's real long. Time shots really well. You know, he's bringing the ball up. You don't really see kids that big bringing the ball up like that. And pulling up for threes.
Pulling up on the break.
That was the heat check.
Yeah,
a little bit of a heat check. You know a little bit about that, though. I was telling, you know, Shrift a little earlier about your game, and you've always been a guy that could shoot the basketball, even from a young age. You've always been able to shoot. You knocked down 2 threes in a row. You take that one, right?
Yeah, I'm taking that one.
There you go.
Sure. Yeah. And coaches know that, especially the coaches on our staff. You know, if somebody's hot, you know, give them the ball, let them heat check a little bit. I don't know if I would have pulled up like that, but I would have. Come on, Scoop. Come on, Leonard.
Pass out to Leonard Miller. All right, so if people haven't seen your game, what can we expect to see you on the floor this year with Ignite?
You know, I got to do it.
Back to action here in the third quarter. G League Ignite with a 12-point lead over Metropolitans 92 from France. Starting to see Victor Wembanyama heat up. Scoot Henderson gets to his spot, rolls off the rim. And an offensive foul pushing the back called against Eric Mika. Oh, Wembanyama, 3 of 5 from deep. He now has 17 points on the night for Metro 92.
I like the way he approached the second half. He came out at the beginning of the second half recognizing that he needed to be aggressive. He got the 3 fouls in the first half, had to go sit down, so he knew he was going to take advantage of his opportunities once he got back into the game. And now you look at it, 17 points, 5 for 10 from the field, you know, 4 for 7 from 3. He has been aggressive here, and again, you can tell that this means something to him. We talked about, I had a feeling coming in, Scoot would be more productive, but Victor didn't get that memo. He's thinking, okay, I got a second half to be just as productive.
We hope everyone at home or wherever you're watching this game on ESPN2, you are enjoying the show. This game is also available on the NBA app. More people involved as the game becomes more and more international. Leonard Miller with time decides to pass up, goes to the rack, short, stays with it, no good. Another try, Miller in traffic. Oh! Punched out of here. Wembanyama says no, no, no.
But what you saw there is a lack of confidence in the jump shot by Leonard Miller. Doesn't take the three, instead goes in amongst the tree and gets swatted out of bounds. And right there you see just the dominance of Victor Wembanyama on the defensive end of the floor.
Just like that, the lead is down to 10. Good D. Net 92 with the steal.
Trailer.
Waters cut off by Henderson. Good D. Wembanyama on the deck, showing the moves. And he's going to be fouled.
You just see the free throw stroke right there. We watched him yesterday, and he's shooting the basketball, and it doesn't touch the rim. You know, most of his shots just hit the bottom of the net. And you mentioned the release point. The follow through, the arc, everything about his shot mechanically is perfect.
Now Victor is officially listed as 7'2", but standing next to him seems like he could be a lot taller.
I played this game for a very long time. I've stood beside guys who are 7 feet, guys who are 7'2", guys who are 7'4". I don't care what the program says. He ain't 7'2". He's taller than that.
8-point lead for Ignite. 7 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Waters dishing off Wembanyama. And Henderson poking it away. Look at the quick hands. Gets the turnover.
Victor coming away a little gimpy on that one.
A little full court press for the first time from Metro 92. Henderson looking to attack. Free throw jumper pulling up, no good. Mika with the rebound. Quickly out. Mika with the rebound. Quickly out. Devontae Jones trying to push the pace. Hands off. Wembanyama. Oh, my goodness.
Uh-oh.
Whoa.
I think he's feeling it right now.
Backdoor cut, picked off. Metro 92 only down by 5. Tremont Waters splitting the D, throwing it up. Henderson protects it, handed off, two-handed slam. Eric Mika.
A great find by Henderson right there, of course. Wembanyama expecting Scoot to challenge him at the rim. Scoot doing the right thing, dropping it off to Mika for the easy bucket.
High ball screen by Wembanyama. Jones falls down, tries to save it. That ball is tipped out of bounds. G League Ignite ball. Look at that Wembanyama.
Well, having to guard this in transition, the ability to raise up over top of defenders, and then on the other end, Scoot attacking the basket, challenging the shot blocker, and dropping it off to a teammate for the easy bucket.
How rare is it for a guy Scoot Henderson's age, as talented as he is, to enjoy passing this much?
It's very rare. We've seen it before. There's a guy by the name of LeBron James who loves passing the basketball and did at this same age.
Wembanyama can't believe it, pleading his case.
And I don't believe many of the people here in the building can believe that call also. I'm not in agreement with that one. I think
maybe body down low, maybe.
I mean, if anything, it was a smack on the way up, but that's not enough to call a foul in that position.
So for Wembanyama, that is now his 4th personal. Henry will come back into the game for Metro 92.
And that's one of the things that's going to be an adjustment for Wembanyama when he does play, you know, the American professional rules, is going to be trying to limit fouls, staying out of foul trouble, staying on the court even longer. And that's really been the only thing that stopped him throughout this game, has been foul trouble and having to spend time on the bench.
Waters trying to do a little shake and bake, use the Wembanyama screen. C for three, nails it.
But a small thing there, Victor Wembanyama motioned to C that he was going to have a wide open look, because they weren't going to help and leave him open under the basket. He was gesturing to shoot the basketball as soon as his teammate caught it.
Henderson, puts on the brakes. He's got all the moves for an 18-year-old.
But intelligence also to know the shot blocker is on the way, the pump fake to get the birdie to fly, and then the easy finish.
Wembanyama wants it in the post. He wants to go one-on-one. Turns and faces, trying to get the move. Step back. Wembanyama. This kid is good.
We're getting what we paid for in this game. You've got the projected #1, projected #2 picks, both putting on a show here in Vegas, getting the job done.
Wembanyama, he now leads all scorers. He's got 24 on the night. Tremont Waters trying to break down his man. Finds the cutter. This is C. Can't finish with the left. Dawkins had that huge first half. Behind the back pass, picked off. Met 92, down by 5, going the other way. In transition at the rim.
Here tonight, especially considering the circumstances, the stage, the nerves I'm sure they have coming into this game, and the way both of them have performed has been spectacular.
I mean, there were a few doubters out there. I mean, there's been a lot of hype around this game. The talk of almost 200 NBA scouts and executives on hand getting credentials. Some people didn't believe that number was accurate. A former PTI intern in myself, I always tune into the guys and watch the show. They didn't believe it.
No, well, don't say they. Don't say they. My guy, who I love, Michael Wilbon, said he didn't even think there were 200 scouts. Well, at the NBA Combine, each team is giving an opportunity for 9 passes, 9 credentials. So total, you have 270 credentialed NBA executives at the Combine. So there are over 200, and there are close to 200 here in attendance today. And he also said, and again, I love Mike Wilbon, that he thought that there would be hype with Victor Wembanyama. The hype is real, Mike. The hype is real. He is the truth.
How about the best versus the best? We talked about in the open. How would you compare this game? Potential #1 versus #2. Take a look at history, where it went down.
Well, the difference is all those went down in college. And we're seeing a new era of basketball as these games don't happen in college. It's not happening in college. This is professional basketball. But yet, neither of these guys have turned to the NBA yet. So the game is changing. The players are changing. And I'm here for it.
Henderson with the soft roll. He now has 22. 5-point lead for Ignite. Turnaround jumper. Nothing but net. Man, just see. He's been active for Met 92.
Well, what was a blowout has now become a game. And, you know, Met 92 has done that with their full court pressure. The three-quarter court trapping, et cetera, really changed things for Ignite, not allowing them to get into their flow offensively.
Henderson, great space. Aaron Henry will track it down. Under 3 minutes to play here in this third quarter. C, he's calling for the ISO now. He's got 10 points in double figures. Going up against Dawkins, trying to play bully ball. Turning off the window, no good. Henderson with the board. Look at that pass to Boogity. And one.
Love the find by Scoot Henderson, putting it where only his teammate can get it. A Boogity taking his time, gathering and going up and finishing the opportunity for the &1 and trying to extend this lead for Ignite. What had become a one-possession game, now an opportunity to extend the lead to 6.
Thea Boogity now in double figures with 10 points on the night. He has got so much bounce. And at 6'10", he's a guy who can make things happen. Can't convert the three-point play. Hassan had the hot hand in the first half. He's 4 of 6 from downtown. Henry pulling up. Baseline jumper, cans it.
We mentioned earlier, playing in the G League is nothing rare for Aaron Henry, who was part of the Delaware Blue Coats a year ago, who lost to Rio Grande Valley in the G League Finals.
And Henry's going to be called for the reach-in foul. So third personal foul on Henry. Jason Hart calling out the play. Dawkins takes the bump and will earn a trip to the free throw line. You know, somebody who covers a lot of college games, you cover a lot of college as well. I do a lot of American Conference play. I love taking trips to UCF to talk with Aubrey Dawkins' dad, Johnny Dawkins, the great player from Duke, an exceptional coach at UCF, one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. But he has so many incredible stories about his Duke days and relating to the players. He's one of the best coaches in the country. Agreed
wholeheartedly, and one of the best people we ever meet, Johnny Dawkins. Again, one of my heroes growing up. I can remember him, the lefty, getting the job done at Duke. One of my favorite moments in NCAA tournament history, Johnny Dawkins getting out in the break and turning and dunking backwards on a kid, I believe, from Navy. But, I mean, Johnny Dawkins was a great basketball player, but an even better person.
Aubrey showed off some of that hops in the first half with that alley-oop.
He really did.
Hassan calling for the screen. Good defense by Ignite. Graves on the floor. Back to Basson, and a shot clock violation. What a defensive possession.
And you can tell this game is not being played like a preseason game. It means something to everyone out there, not just Scoot and Victor. Everyone getting on the floor, guys getting the job done defensively. Graves doing a great job there. Attacking the basketball, knocking away, and still getting this shot clock violation.
Dawkins thought about it. Got plenty of time on the shot clock at 12. Young trying to go one-on-one. Step back. 3 off the mark. Under a minute to play here in this third quarter. Tipped away. Marcus Graves with the steal. Young settles the beat. And Met 92 are going to slow things down. Basson call out the play. Bang it on the block, high off the window, gets it to go. Ibrahima Fall-Faye.
And back to 3, a one-possession game right now. This has been a positive third quarter for Met 92.
Shot clock turned off, game clock at 10. Now using that high ball screen. Graves letting it fly in and out. Fall-Faye with the board, looking up at the clock. After 3 quarters, you played the highest level in college. You also played in the G League before it was the G League.
D-League.
The D-League. What is it like, all different levels, and playing in the G League, trying to get back to the NBA?
You know what? The thing is trying to get back to the NBA is a balance between, do you go out trying to showcase your ability and trying to win? You know, so that's the thing that so often happens. And again, that's one of the things I like about this G League Ignite team that, you know, Jason Hart, Sharif Abdur-Rahim, Rob Baker put together this year, because this team looks as though they are set on winning. And again, you know, playing a full 50-game schedule in the G League this year for the first time, that looks like it's the focus is to win. Of course, it's always going to be developing young players. But they have personnel together that looks like they are about winning, and right now Met 92 looks like they're about winning too, because they have an opportunity here to tie this game after being down 20 earlier.
I mean, even just looking at the personnel on the floor for Ignite, you've got John Jenkins, who is a former first-round pick. You got Pooh Jeter, who is the vet of all vets. He's played all over the world. This is his second year playing for Ignite. And then they're with the 3 younger guys. So the complement on the court and in practice, it's an impressive watch for Ignite.
It really is. And again, you know, for Jason Hart, knowing that Scoot has it going right now, but sticking to the script and his rotation plan to say, hey, look, you're going to be out to start the fourth quarter. This is the way that we're going to play this. You'll get your opportunities at the end of the game to go in and finish, but he has to rest at certain points in this game to be fresh at the end to make it happen.
Pooh Jeter is going to run the point for Ignite. We got a tie ball game here in this fourth quarter. What a special night this has been here in Henderson, Nevada, just minutes from the Las Vegas Strip. On the block. Roll doesn't go for Leonard Miller, and it's going to be Met 92 ball. Leonard Miller told us he's a guy, he feels like he's got a lot to prove. He did everything he really could do in Canada. He was the boys' player of the year, and now he comes here to Ignite to really make a name for himself in America. Ball Faye. Miller with space. And that's something we've seen Miller working on in practice, trying to get the range.
Yeah, and that's one of the benefits of being with Ignite. You know, he's a professional now, so he's going to have an opportunity and the time to be able to do it.
Nice hang time adjustment at the rim for him. They heat it up for the team from France. They're shooting almost 48% from downtown right now to get themselves a 2-point lead.
And who started that?
Victor Wembanyama. Both stars are on the bench, Scoot Henderson and Wembanyama. They will presumably be back in the game for the final stretch. Sidi Sissoko trying to beat the clock. Doesn't draw iron, shot clock violation.
The defensive effort has been different for Met 92 here in this second half. You've seen the attention to detail and the way they've gone about their business here. G League Ignite was getting everything they wanted on the offensive end of the floor in the first half, but adjustments from Coach Collette giving his team a lead here to begin the fourth quarter.
Konate trying to get it inside. Here's Faye. Basson curling off the screen, driving baseline. Oh, you fat with a 3. Yes, I just said that. That is that man's name. Don't tweet at me. I don't want to tweet from anybody. That's the man's name.
You couldn't wait to say that.
Victor Wembanyama takes the warm-up off as he comes back into the game with 9:20 to play here in this fourth quarter.
You have to remember he's coming back into the game with 4 fouls, so that's something that he's got to be cognizant of. Make sure that he stays away from any, ticky-tack fouls and stays on the floor for the remaining 9:20.
So Fall Faye picked up that last foul. That is his 5th personal foul. As Wembanyama will come in and replace him. What do you want to see out of the big fella here with 9:20 to play?
Really more so of what we've seen, his ability just to be able to space the floor, shooting the 3, but also defending the rim, blocking shots, and continue to be aggressive on the offensive end of the floor. Again, I don't think he's going to be a back-to-the-basket guy, but he has so much skill facing up. I think they need to get him the basketball and opportunities to be able to ISO in the post, showing off his face-off game.
Nice play by Pooh Jeter. Stripped it away and forced the turnover on Basson. All tied at 95 apiece. Jeter waits for the screen. Now gives up to Dawkins with the blow-by. Blocked out of bounds. Will stay with Ignite. 11 on the shot clock.
But just the presence of Wembanyama on that forced Aubrey Dawkins to go under, because he knows he's got a shot blocker trailing him. Ends up the backboard block.
Jenkins, quick release. That is smooth. John Jenkins, the veteran, knocks down another shot. now has 15 on the night. And a foul inside that goes on Sissoko. It's interesting, the players they brought onto this team for Metropolitans 92 to complement Victor Wembanyama. 3 American players who they brought over, and Tremont Waters was the latest addition, just came to this team about 2 weeks ago. And he knows my job is to get Wembanyama the ball. There he is, short, front rim on the rebound. They're actually going to say that was on Jenkins.
But you see Waters and Wembanyama having a conversation right now. And again, Tremont Waters is the perfect complement to be able to help teach Victor the NBA game, because he's played 2 years in the NBA. Well, parts of 3 seasons, actually. He's played in the G League. He's a professional now at this game.
Oh, and he can still score.
Oh, he can get a bucket. He can absolutely get a bucket. I coached against him, believe it or not, when he was 16, and he was shooting from about 30 feet then. First couple he made, I'm like, let him have that. He's going to do that. They'll just beat us. After he made about 4 or 5 of us, like, hey, guys, we got to guard him all the way out there.
Dawkins, catch and shoot, a little strong. Mika fighting for the board, coming away is Met 92. Waters will slow things down. He is 6 of 9 from the floor. He's got 13 points to go with 4 rebounds. Mika on the floor. He is showing an aggression that been very aggressive, hustling, diving. He's been another pickup for G League Ignite.
Really has. And again, you're talking about a veteran big man who can defend in the post, who can battle against big, strong guys, but also has the touch to be able to make plays on the perimeter, passing the basketball as well as shooting the mid-range jumper.
Now, he's a guy who's got a ton to prove. Last year, this past December, had wrist surgery, so missed all of last year. He's played overseas. Now he comes home. He has a new baby with his wife here, setting up in Vegas. He is really all in on this opportunity with G League Ignite, as Mika easily wins the tip. Scoot Henderson back in the ball game now. Quick release for Jenkins, in and out. Running the bait, Met 92, a little out of control. Holding fat, offensive foul.
And great job by Sidy Cissoko getting in, taking the charge, recognizing he's got a big guy out of control trying to get down the floor. Smart play by Cissoko.
Now, this is the latest addition to the G League Ignite roster. London Johnson just joined this month. You saw him just getting acclimated to his teammates. As Jenkins, not shy, he rattles in that 3. Jenkins, that's his 4th 3 of the night. He's got 18.
But I love the fact that Scoot Henderson back-to-back plays attached and then finds Jenkins in the corner, recognizing it's not the time for him to go challenge at the rim. It's the time to find his teammates and get them looks. And he's got a knockdown shooter in the corner. Jenkins, who missed one on the previous possession. But Scoot showing that leadership, sticking with his guy, has knocked down the second 3.
Three-point lead for Ignite. Edging hard is Mika. Inside, nice passing. Oh, you fat will finish it off.
Great find. 2 great passes by Met 92 to find the easy bucket there. You see they extend that pressure once again, trying to keep the basketball out of Scoot Henderson's hands.
Sissoko, hands off. Jenkins, that's another one. John Jenkins, that's his 5th 3 of the night. He's heating up.
Difference maker. Having shooting like that, you can't load up on Scoot and be able to guard Jenkins on the perimeter. You got to give up something, and now they're giving up 3.
John Jenkins played in the league with the Hawks. He's bounced around all over the world. Is he a guy who can get back to the NBA?
I believe so. When you think about the biggest skill that you can bring to a team is the ability to shoot the basketball, especially in the NBA when you have so many playmakers that are already the stars that have the basketball. If you can defend and make shots alongside those guys, you've got a chance to play in the league.
You see on the left of your screen here, leading scorers, Wembanyama leads the way with 26, followed by Henderson and Jenkins. Hesitation dribble. Waters loses his man, cans the jumper. Tremont Waters has 15 now. Henderson with some space. You can't leave him that wide open.
That these teams are going to have to follow to see who comes away with it.
Pick and roll with Wembanyama. Waters keeps his dribble now alive. Waters against Henderson. One-on-one. Shot clock at 4. Henderson staying with his man. Waters pull-up jumper. Forced him into a tough shot.
Yeah, and Scoot did a great job defensively right there. And believe me, Tremont Waters is not an easy cover. So trying to guard him one-on-one is a difficult task, but a great job by Scoot on that possession.
Henderson showing the pace. Oh! What a find from Henderson to Abogidi. We're going to be calling that out a ton this season.
But he knew he had to dunk that basketball. He's got the shot blocker on the floor. The only way for them to get 2 points is to dunk it, because if he lays it up, it's getting thrown out of there.
Manana from 3, short. Conate on the glass will find Waters to reload, and he rips down the net. Tremont Waters, he's starting to heat up. That's his second 3. He's got 18 now. The deep 2, showing off the range.
Yeah, he's been impressive as well. I mean, there have been a number of guys that really have stepped up for G League Ignite, especially getting the job done here tonight. And this is a team, as you see, they will be able to compete in the G League this year.
Abogidi forced that turnover. Henderson going the other way. Kick out. Pass in the corner. Mojave King knocks down.
Here, every AAU tournaments have been here forever, but with everything that you have going on in Vegas, it has become a great sports city.
Wembanyama's calling for it on the block against Abogidi. Turns, faces, hanging, showing all the moves. Says he got hit in the face as well. Eats that contact. Another bucket for Wembanyama. He's got 28. Excuse me, 26. Henderson a deep 2. They corrected it. It is now 28 in the scorer's book.
And 27 for Henderson. So these two guys have gone step for step against each other.
Wembanyama calmly knocks down a 3. He's like, come on, that's too easy.
Well, he's not going to give us an opportunity to add his numbers up. He just keeps adding to those. So what was 28 is now 31. I'm not sure if the official stats can keep up.
Henderson trying to set up his man now. With the blow by. Oh, Wembanyama rejected at the rim. Met 92 the other way. Off the mark is Jones. Get out the rim. Met 92 the other way. Off the mark is Jones. This place is electric right now.
Hey, well, you see these two guys going at it, and now Scoot trying to climb the tree.
Dawkins. Oh! They call that a goaltend, but Wembanyama says no easy buckets here.
Well, I was wondering when Scoot was going to try Victor, and he does on this possession, but that is advantage Victor coming up with the block shot. Scoot has been great attacking the rim all night, finishing around Wembanyama, but that time trying to go over the top, and Victor gets the win on that possession.
That's a nearly 8-foot wingspan. Rising up, rattles in another 3.
Come on, man.
Wembanyama is coming on late here in the 4th. 34 points.
This is the cheat code. This is not fair. 7-4. He should not be able to do that.
Jenkins, catch and shoot, short. At 92, down by 5, under 3 minutes to play. In and out, Tremont Waters getting by his man.
Find the hot hand.
C, no good. Wembanyama didn't get a touch there.
In an NBA game, they would be looking for him on that possession. You knock down back-to-back threes like that, they're looking for the big fella.
Get out, Aubrey! Get out, Aubrey!
Henderson, that one's a turnover, met 92. Henry, Euro step, blocked by King. Between European rules and NBA rules, and Victor was one of the guys who was asking the most questions.
Yeah, he did ask the most questions, and we talked with the official, Don Hudson, And he talked about the fact, hey, the big fella asked a lot of questions. We told him, say, you know who that big fella is, right? He said, yeah, I kind of got an idea.
Henderson going hard. Wembanyama. He said, really?
Yeah, late call right there. And that's one of those plays that you often see in professional basketball in the United States where you referee the result first. If Scoot Henderson makes this layup, there's probably no call. But because he misses it, the call comes in late. You see how late that call comes in, and now that's the 5th foul on Victor Wembanyama.
So Scoot Henderson will go to the line to shoot 2. Under 2 minutes to play as he misses the first. Henderson goes 1 of 2 from the line. He's 4 of 6 from the free throw line tonight with 28 points. And Ignite forces the turnover.
That's been the one thing that has hurt Met 92 in this game, the turnovers, especially at inopportune times. Turning the basketball over and not getting an opportunity to cut into this lead.
Henderson picks up his dribble. We'll get it back. Plenty of time. 9 on the shot clock. Blocked by Wembanyama. That is his 5th block of the night.
And that's the second time that Scoot has challenged him, trying to shoot the jumper over top of him without creating any space. And the second time that Victor has denied that opportunity.
Jenkins gets the handoff. Lets it go short on the 3. Basson with the rebound. Waters finds the big man. Calmly knocks down another. Victor Wembanyama, 7 threes, 37 points.
Remember when I said Scoot would be more productive? Scratch that.
A minute to play in this ball game. Mika inside, finishes with the left. Let's remember, this is the first game this Ignite team has played so far. Let's see how they handle this late game situation under a minute to play. Poked away, Ignite with the steal. Jenkins is double teamed, picks up the ball, finds Henderson. Henderson with the ISO, 8 on the shot clock. Now here comes Mika with the screen. Henderson reaching, and Wembanyama. So Ignite has to lock in on D here. Wembanyama rising up. Short on that 3. Met 92 forced to foul, down by 5. So C.D. Sissoko will go to the line to shoot 2. We talked about this young man who grew up in Paris. Grew up actually watching Met 92 as a kid. We talked to him about what it's like to play against this team. He said, this is a dream. Playing against my childhood team here in Las Vegas. I said, what was the first thing you did when you came to Vegas? He said, oh, an American burger.
He also said one was enough.
That's right.
He hasn't had that American burger since.
Final seconds in this outstanding ball game. Basson with a hand in his face. Henderson gets the rebound, and that should do it for G League Ignite. What a performance in their first exhibition game against Metropolitans.